Ladies and gentlemen, it is not an easy role for the Prime Minister of the Polish government to praise the situation in his own country at a time when in Europe and in Poland it is so fashionable to rather complain about the situation. Politicians who openly praise the achievements of their governments or their countries are often exposed to the criticism of being unreliable because the investment possibilities are not often assessed as high. I am in a very good situation, convenient situation. I stand once again before the IPO summit guests, and I can say with a clear conscience to you and to the citizens of my country, presenting the situation of my country, the figures, the facts, the objective premises that speak in favor of Poland, set against the background of the European and a global economy, and they speak favorably in presenting the situation to potential investors. I hope that the citizens of my country will show understanding when I will say clearly that Poland is one of the best places to invest in the world. One of the preconditions for investment is optimism. Only someone who believes in the success, who is convinced that success is at hand's length, is prepared to invest both money and time. There is little of such optimism in the world at present. But in Poland, despite the global crisis, people have not given up, either in the critical year 2008 or in the subsequent years. Perhaps because Polish people, because of their temperance, their entrepreneurship, their matter-of-factness, have saved themselves better, protected themselves better than some of the more promising economies in Europe and the world. Today, we have received two optimistic news about the condition of Polish economy. The first is the report prepared by Ernst & Young, namely the European Investment Attractiveness Survey for 2013. This is the most recent survey, in other words. And according to this report presented today, in Central Eastern Europe, Poland ranks first. We are definitely the first in the region with regard to investment attractiveness. In Europe at large, we ranked third. Poland ranked third. The criterion is the number of jobs that are created thanks to foreign investment. If we look at the growth of foreign investment in 2013, over the first months of the year compared to the year 2012, the growth is the highest in Europe. Poland ranks first with regard to the growth of investment in 2013. And a second piece of information that will convince people to a greater degree, but also important for investors. Namely, we noted in the month of May a fall in unemployment from 14% to 13.5%. The unemployment is much too high for us to speak about this with a smile on our faces and to speak about the situation on our labor market. But the fact that it fell from last year by 0.9%, and also the situation stagnates in Europe and is quite a little bit insecure, this signal is optimistic, especially that compared to last year, the fall in unemployment in May is considerably higher. It's 78,000 people who found a job in the month of May. There are also other figures that we mentioned earlier. In my opinion, over the next 10 years, we will be very attractive with regard to investment, because we will invest ourselves and strengthen the Polish economy by amounts that have been unimaginable so far in Polish history. In the years to come, the Polish economy will mark an inflow of 700 to 800 billion zlotys, which will mean investment in roads, transportation infrastructure, for the railway, 64 billion for energy, 10 billion for defense, for education, 5 billion for the exploration of shale gas. The energy sector, because of its importance for national security, is also something that we want to protect, especially. A testimony to this, and it will be interesting to our domestic public opinion, a decision that we made a dozen hours or so during the meeting of the team on energy security, with the participation of the Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Piechociński, the Ministry of Transport, experts. We confirmed the readiness to construct the power plant Opole, one of the investments that we have announced. And after looking at all the data on the market, we decided that the government will find the funding and the ways of proceeding in order to implement this investment. Poland, with the 18% growth during the 5-year crisis period, Poland is unique. Only 3 countries in the EU achieved accumulated growth over the crisis period. Poland with 18%, the second is Slovakia, 7%, and 1%, if I remember, Malta. All the other countries in the crisis period have been on a minus score. And it's worth remembering, because it's not incidental, it's not something short-term. In the most difficult period for 5 years, we have been growing consistently. Thanks to that, Poland has become the unquestionable center of financial transactions. The host today, the Warsaw Stock Exchange, exceeded 54% in transactions in Central Eastern Europe if we consider the value, and we are the leaders when we compare to Prague, Vienna, Budapest, Bucharest, Ljubljana, or Sofia. In 2012, the stock exchange ranked first. Also, the stock exchange was a leader across Europe with regard to debuts. There were 105, and also in Europe as a whole with regard to the European The fact that we ranked fifth with regard to the value of debuts, of IPOs, that is very impressive. Also, the number of investment accounts in the National Depository is at a record level, 1.5 billion, namely. Our transactions have also a global dimension in the sales of the Tauron, Polish energy. 16 countries from 4 continents participated. I could bore you with the data concerning the condition of the financial market and the public finance in Poland, but you have not come to listen to a several hours long speech of the Polish Prime Minister. But I wanted to say that it is rare that we have the possibility to speak openly, without any complexes, and very honestly to say the truth about the excellent, relatively good situation that we are in, which is also shown by the fact that so many investors decide to invest here. Also, the stock exchange, thanks to the very good running of this institution, can offer, apart the fact that it is the stock exchange of the most quickly developing market, it can also offer a high-quality transactional infrastructure. We have 18 connections with foreign depositories. We have a system for settlement and clearance that facilitates trade. There are also other indicators that show that over the last years, Poland is very investor-friendly. What I really thought was close to my heart in doing business ranking, and a ranking that is quite objective, that shows the quality of doing business. We have increased by 7 points in the ranking. This is considerable progress. For investors, also the Better Life Index of OECD for 2013 is also important. From out of 34 countries, we are halfway through. But considering the distance that we have to make up for, that is very impressive as well. Also, it is important for our citizens. Poland is one of the safest countries in the world. This is proven by the statistics, but also the sentiment of people. With regard to education, people complain quite often, but it turns out that our pupils, when they are evaluated in international surveys, they have 4%, 4 points more than the OECD average. Deloitte carried out the Social Progress Imperative 2013 about fulfilling the basic needs. We are 17 in Europe and 13th out of the 50 countries studied in general. This is also considerable progress. 57th out of 177 in the Index of Economic Freedom by Wall Street Journal and the Heritage Foundation. In all these rankings, Poland has been improving its position. For instance, the Boston Consulting Group that evaluates the quality of life ranked Poland 33 out of 160. When we evaluate the quality of life, the level of quality of life, we're 33rd. And this is out of all the countries in the world. We are 6th among all the countries in the world that achieved the greatest developmental leap. And out of the 6, we are the most wealthy country. I'm talking about such countries as Brazil, Angola, Uruguay, and Indonesia. As I promised, I will perhaps suspend further enumeration of the advancement of Poland because no words can be equivalent to what you will experience when you invest in Poland. But one of the greatest merits, and cannot be measured in any ranking, is what sometimes is also a problem for the authorities in Poland. But in truth, it is important driver, source of energy. That is the impatience of Poles, the lack of satisfaction with the status quo, the readiness to improve their situation. It's not easy to rule in such a country, to govern such a country, but it's easy to speak about the future with optimism, because a true guarantee of for the future are those who want to invest in a country, those who can govern the great potential, but first and foremost, the people, the Poles themselves, with their potential and an energy that are not always fully appreciated, and I would like to point your attention to that. Once again, I would like to invite you to Poland to do good business, because if not in Poland, then nowhere in the world perhaps such good business can be done.